There was a man who lived in a village where everyone was always searching for peace, purpose, happiness. But he didn't search, he smiled. He played with problems, danced with dilemmas, and laughed at limitations. And when asked how he did it, he simply said, "I never believed I was broken. I just believed I was learning." Isn't it interesting how when you begin to entertain the possibility that every challenge is not a wall but a window, something opens, like now. Because right now, something inside you might already be curious about what it feels like to believe that you're enough, that you've always been enough, that even now, a deeper part of your mind can begin to align with a new core operating system, one made of emotional resilience, self-approval, limitless potential, and the kind of magnetic energy that turns heads before you say a word. And just like when a person upgrades their phone, keeps the photos, but sheds the bugs, your mind can keep all the lessons and discard the limitations. You ever notice how some people, they radiate something? They walk into a room and something shifts. It's not what they say. It's not what they do. It's what they believe. They believe that happiness is a choice, that state creates fate, that resilience is sexy, that life is not a test, it's a playground. Now just pretend you already believe that. Pretend so deeply that pretending turns into remembering, and remembering becomes knowing. Because the unconscious learns not by facts, but by experience. So allow yourself to experience this. Imagine you wake up, you stretch, and in that stretch something deeper expands. Your capacity to choose joy. You sip your coffee, and even that becomes a ritual of gratitude. You walk, you smile, and others smile back, because happiness is contagious, and you've become the source. Because something inside you remembers that optimistic people, they're unlucky. They're intentional. They don't react, they respond. They don't shrink from challenge, they grow because of it. Now think of someone you admire, not for their success, but for their glow, their light. They probably speak in positive patterns, laugh easily, see setbacks as stepping stones, socialize without trying. They connect. And notice how you already do these things sometimes. And if you do them sometimes, you can do them more. And if you can do them more, you can do them naturally, until this version of you becomes the only version you need. And here's the trick most people don't realize. You don't need to believe first. You just need to act as if. Because acting as if creates neural proof. Neural proof becomes belief, and belief becomes identity. So how would someone who truly believes they're resilient, joyful, and magnetic walk into a room? They wouldn't think about it. They'd just do it. And maybe you've already started to become that person, haven't you? Because the more you hear this, the more your unconscious goes, "Oh, this is who I am now." Let me tell you about the boy with the mirror mind. Every time he smiled, the world smiled back. But here's the secret. The world didn't smile because he smiled. The world smiled because he expected it to. That's all it took. He carried certainty like a flame, and people gathered near to feel his warmth. Not because he needed them, but because he loved being himself so much. They wanted to know what that felt like. And just like him, you too can. Practice joy like a ritual. Set goals like games. Speak to yourself like a wise, loving guide. Move your body like it's an act of celebration. Journal as if your thoughts are treasure maps. Embrace challenges as workouts for your soul. Because you're not your past. You're not your programming. You are the programmer. And every word you speak, especially to yourself, is a command. And when you sound capable, I'm magnetic, I'm joyful, your mind listens. Let it listen now. Let the words sink in like seeds. Let the seeds root deep into your unconscious. Let them grow branches that reach into your identity. Let them bloom into effortless action. And remember, people mirror your energy. So when you believe, others believe you too. Because when you radiate certainty, people follow. When you radiate love, people trust. When you radiate playfulness, life becomes a game worth playing. And right now, that game is already happening. And you are already winning. Because you're living from a different frame now. The old one, it doesn't fit anymore. You've outgrown it, just like a snake sheds its skin, or a star expands beyond its origin. What's wild is, the more you become this version of you, the more you realise you always were. So now, every breath you take, every word you hear, every moment that passes, is another reminder that you're installing this deeply, powerfully, permanently. You're the joyful thinker. You're the resilient one. You're the creator of your emotional state. You're magnetic. You're present. You're now. And that is the beginning of everything.